Yesterday, inside AT&T Stadium in Dallas, the French national team's tournament came to an abrupt halt. Spain's 2-0 victory earned them a place in the final, but the scoreline was the byproduct of a defensive masterclass that neutralized the world's most dangerous attacker. To understand how Spain rendered Kylian Mbappé ineffective, we have to look at their use of spatial control. Rather than relying on a traditional man-marking system, which risks isolation against elite pace, the Spanish defensive bloc moved as a single, synchronized unit. They focused on shrinking the playable area around the attacker before the ball even reached his feet. Observe the red bloc's movement here. By aggressively compressing the half spaces, Spain deliberately invited France to play sideways, while severing the forward entry passes. The defensive line pushed up in coordination with the midfield, creating a cage that forced Mbappé to drop into his own half just to find a touch of the ball. By maintaining this structure for 90 minutes without a single lapse, Spain provided a highly functional blueprint for how a disciplined collective can dismantle the influence of a global superstar. Now, the focus shifts to Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta. Tonight, Thomas Tuchel and England face a challenge that mirrors France's struggle in Dallas, but with an even more complex variable to solve: Lionel Messi. At 39 years old, Messi is producing a statistical output that defies his age. He leads the Golden Boot race with 8 goals, but his influence as a playmaker is just as sharp. In the quarterfinal against Switzerland, his corner for Alexis Mac Allister marked his 10th career World Cup assist, moving him past Fritz Walter as the competition's all-time leader. In that match alone, he created 6 chances and completed 5 successful dribbles. The data places him in rarefied territory. Messi has now joined Kylian Mbappé as the only 2 players to record 10 or more combined goals and assists in consecutive World Cup tournaments. He is a playmaker who has optimized his game to remain lethal even as his physical output changes. But the tactical challenge is layered with 60 years of historical friction. This rivalry began in 1966 with a quarter-final clash defined by heavy tackles and the controversial dismissal of Argentine captain Antonio Ratin. That tension deepened in 1986 with Diego Maradona's Hand of God, and reached a fever pitch in 1998 when David Beckham was sent off for a retaliatory kick against Diego Simeone. Despite decades of these tournament collisions, tonight represents the first time Lionel Messi has ever faced England on a World Cup pitch. It is a final, missing chapter in one of the most storied rivalries in international football. To find the edge tonight, we have to look at how these 2 managers hide their weaknesses. Lionel Scaloni relies on an adaptive, possession-fluid system designed to control the tempo through the midfield. This high-technical approach saw Argentina sweep Group J with a perfect 9 points, scoring 8 goals along the way. But that fluidity has a cost. Argentina is showing signs of physical exhaustion after surviving a 5-goal thriller against Egypt and a grueling extra-time battle with Switzerland. Late in games, their defensive structure has begun to sag, leading to lapses that nearly cost them their place in the tournament. Thomas Tuchel has built England in the opposite image, a rigidly structured, high-pressing transition system. Since taking over, he has prioritized a defense that absorbs pressure before striking rapidly when the opponent loses their shape. England's strength lies in their efficiency on the break. Jude Bellingham and Harry Kane have both notched 6 goals this tournament, with Bellingham's brace against Norway proving that this England side can find a result even when they aren't dominating the ball. However, England's discipline has been a recurring issue. Their aggressive press often leads to tactical fouls when bypassed, resulting in 5 yellow cards and a red against Mexico. Because both squads are flawed machines, the result comes down to which manager can better insulate their specific structural cracks under the lights in Atlanta. Tuchel will apply Spain's Dallas blueprint, deploying a defensive net to isolate Messi. The strategy clogs central channels, severing the connection between Messi and his primary targets, Mac Allister, Alvarez, and Martinez. This forces Argentina into low-percentage crosses. Scaloni's countermove is to use that fluid possession to bait the press. He wants his deep midfielders to draw England's players out of their rigid positions, creating just enough space for Messi to receive the ball behind the first line of defense. This is a high-stakes tactical chess match. The first team to lose their structural discipline will leave a gap that the other side is perfectly equipped to exploit within seconds. Despite the star power in the final third, this match will be decided by a physical war in the midfield. It's a battle over who controls the clock and who dictates the space. The weight of expectation is massive on both sides. South America expects a dynasty with back-to-back titles, while Britain is desperate to end a drought that has lasted since 1966. But Atlanta is only the penultimate step. The ultimate prize is waiting at MetLife Stadium in New Jersey. Whoever emerges from this match will carry an momentum of a historic victory into the World Cup final against Spain, bringing them one step closer to lifting the most coveted trophy in sports.